Today we're going to do a repair on a DeWalt pressure washer, model DXPW 61299, also known as part number 61299. Now this particular pressure washer, rated at 3600 psi, utilizes a Honda GX200 engine. Fantastic engine, best small engine in its class. They also use with this pressure washer an F&A AAA pump. This particular pump has an aluminum head on it. I prefer a pump with a brass head for better longevity and less problems. Now, we've tested this pressure washer earlier and we found we have no pressure at all. This is a brand new pressure washer. So we shouldn't have any wear and tear issues with the pump causing the problem. We've removed the pump previously to make sure the shaft key was in place, keeping it engaged with the engine. That is in place. So at this point, we either have valve damage, seal damage, or unloader valve damage. Right now we're going to lean toward the unloader valve, and what we're going to do is we're going to replace that, or at least remove the unloader valve, inspect it, and go from there. To start the repair, we're going to have to remove this black plastic cap, which allows us to adjust the pressure. To do that, we've got a small little plastic clip that keeps the unloader valve engaged. To remove that, I'm going to take a small pick and I'm going to pop out this little plastic piece here. With that removed, I now have the ability to lift off the cap. At this stage, we can put a wrench on here and remove the unloader valve assembly. One possibility is that the unloader may not have been adjusted properly from the manufacturer initially. We did check that earlier and that was not the case. We have seen a few of these where the unloader valves were just defective from the beginning. Here's your unloader valve. Double O-ring with the pin on the bottom. Now our test on this is, does that pin push in and out? And it does not. It is solid. This pin is spring-loaded internally and should be able to push in. And because it doesn't, we know that this unloader valve is now faulty. We're going to replace this unloader valve with part number 1002-2626. So to do a comparison, here's the old unloader valve. Pin will not move. Compared to the brand new unloader valve. So internally we have an issue here. There are no parts available to fix this part. So it's replaced the assembly and that should solve the problem. So at this point, we don't need any Vaseline or any sealant or lubrication on here. We can simply screw the valve back into place. We can reinstall our cap and now put our clip back in place, which prevents the cap from coming back up. We've replaced the unloader valve. Now we're ready to test the pressure washer. On the pressure washer, we have mounted a gauge after the pump and before the pressure hose. Keep in mind, the rating on the pressure washer is typically higher than what the gauge will read, due to the fact that the gauge is typically not reading the internal pump head pressure. When we do the test, you'll be able to see the actual working pressure through the pressure hose and the trapping pressure that the pressure washer achieves when the trigger gun is released. We're ready to start the pressure washer. As you can see, when we're pulling the trigger gun, you'll read roughly 3,200 psi. That's the working pressure inside the hose and the pump head. When the trigger is released, a higher pressure is trapped in the system, which forces the pump into bypass. That's called your trapping pressure, which is different than your working pressure. your working pressure is always lower and will typically never be the same as the sticker rating on the pressure washer. Thanks for watching.